Hi, my name is Mike Lawrence. This video is one of a set which is intended to provide a different interpretation of the experimental results that constitute the foundation of current physics. It is clear that the present explanation for what we see in the universe is good in many ways, but it is missing an overall coherence. My view is that we need to look at physics with new eyes and consider an interpretation that explains most things well, even if it does question just about everything. I do not disagree with any experimental results, only the interpretation of those results. And I do not say that the hypothesis that I'll be talking about in these videos is the theory of everything, and that everything I suggest is correct, but it is a start. Each video in the set will cover an aspect of physics. The whole set needs to be understood together in combination, because many aspects rely on each other, and any one taken on its own may not be convincing to those relying on the current interpretations, some of whom may actually be offended by the hypothesis. There will be links in the videos to other videos in the set that cover closely related or overlapping aspects. Within the boxes in the videos are representations of the motions of the particles and their composites, which I will be explaining more fully. I'm happy to answer questions where I can, perhaps providing links to where a deeper mathematical analysis shows why I say what I do, since equations and graphs do not make good videos, and will post replies where appropriate on Twitter. I hope you enjoy the videos and they enable you to better appreciate the absolute symmetry and simplicity of nature. But please remember, I'm not an experienced presenter, and although I state everything as if it were correct, this is only a hypothesis. This is video number 14, why the redshift of tired light is frequently independent. In the simple interpretation, photons do not just move in almost straight lines, but also rotate as they travel. This is the physical action of the rotation of the two sets of almost reformed merged pairs in the loop and anti-loop as they translate through the background at local light speed. The more complex interpretation is covered in more detail elsewhere, but involves the photon skipping non-locally within a double shell made of merged pairs that is expanding at local light speed. The actual path of the meons in a photon is a cylindrical spiral, and when one photon rotation is unwrapped, the length of the meon path is always the square root of 2 times the distance that the photon itself travels. So the maximum speed of meons is the square root of 2 times c, although we cannot measure it, but this does not change that the loops themselves are limited to c. It is the motion of the meons in a photon that are affected by the background viscosity, which reduces their energy proportional to the density of the local background, not proportional to the frequency or energy of the photon as a whole. Since all 3-pair matter loops have 12 meons structured as 6 almost reformed merged pairs in a photon, it doesn't matter what the frequency of the photon is. Thus all photons experience fractional energy loss that is independent of the frequency of the photon, because the meons all have the same volume and experience the same viscosity over the same distance travelled. This is frequency independent tired light. The same effect would be the case for any pair number photon, so that even dark matter photons will travel at light speed and experience the same amount of tired light because each of the meons travels the same distance. Spectra observed of objects that will not be speared out, as will be the case for frequency-dependent tired light. The size of tired light is the amount of redshift that results from the meons travel over distance. The current graphs of redshift versus distance for celestial objects can be used to give an estimate of the size of viscosity effect beyond our Big Bang volume, where the redshift is generally unaffected by what the components inside our Big Bang are doing. The value of this fractional effect is approximately 8 times 10 to the minus 11 per light year, or 105% of the Hubble rate. Inside our Big Bang volume, the balancing redshift will be a blue shift of approximately 5% of the Hubble rate. Our Big Bang is contracting and is a failing Big Bang. The redshift of objects at low velocity and distance from us, such as the Voyager spacecraft exiting our own solar system at 1.8 times 10 to the 12 meters from Earth, would only show a fractional viscosity redshift of around 1 times 10 to the minus 13, so not very much. The hypothesis excludes the need for the expansion of space, because meons do not change size, and no objects need exceed light speed relative to us. It also excludes dark energy, since the faster expansion rate observed beyond our envelope of our Big Bang is actually the viscosity redshift baseline rate. Related videos would be 24, the structure of loops and zeros, and 17, redshifts and dark energy. Thank you for watching.